Hello, hello. It's Saturday evening, and I just did a painting. I just did this little painting right here. This is what I just did. It was fun. I'm just going to wait just a few minutes to see if anybody comes in. It's kind of an impromptu video. I don't see me on here. Trying to find me. There I am. I think I'm in there. Let's see if I'm on. Let's see.
There I am. I think I'm in there. Let's see if I'm on.
Let me turn this volume down and we can talk. Oh, hi, Jenny, Giovanna. Hi, sweetie pie. Welcome. You're my first one today. How are you? What you been up to? Well, Joe's not in here right at this moment, but I will tell him you said hi. I just finished painting this. I did. Oh, okay, a junk journal. Are you in Tanya's group? You been watching Tanya McGuire? There's tons of other girls that do it too, not just her. Oh, great. Well, you know what? These little papers here are from my marble rolls. Uh-huh. These are marble papers. I think this guy here needs to be outlined a little bit. What did I do with my pen? Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Isn't that neat? You've been watching Tanya. Me too. Me too. While we're waiting on some people to come in, I'll show you my junk journal. While we're waiting, I already had this book made up before I met Tanya, and it's nothing but envelopes from some of my pen pals. Hi, Steak and Fries. Hi, Becky. I'm doing a little impromptu. And here's some of my things that I made with Tanya. I was showing off Tanya's junk journal book. I don't think it's fair if you can't say junk a million times. And so I've been putting some of her things in this journal. I'm going to have to start me another one. I got a brown paper bag from my mom today. This is what I just got finished doing. I did I watch Debbie Epps. It's Debbie Epps, Epps, Epps. And I'm not sure where she lives, but she's a school teacher, and she's an artist. And anyway, she was painting this, and I painted along. Hi, Miss Sassy Pants. I just finished painting this with Debbie Epps on a live stream. And these are my marble papers. Has everybody seen the marble paper that I did? These are from my marble papers. You could use painty papers or scrapbook paper too for this little page. It's nothing it's no big deal. It was really fun to do and it was easy to do. I got this new book, and I'm not a watercolorist by any means, but I do like to dabble a little bit. And I got this book. It's Fast and Fun Watercolor, and it says no drawing required. And this was page 62, and this is what I painted. And instead of, I didn't put the birds in, and I only used three boats instead of 5. So that was pretty easy. Pretty easy. Aw, thank you. I was telling Joe last night. Yeah, I'm from West Virginia. I was telling Joe last night, I said, I don't sound like that. That's not me. And he says, oh, yes, it is. He said it was me. It's just what came out when God created me. But anyway, I went to 2 yard sales today, and I was going to show you what I got. Y'all want to see it? I was kind of waiting on some people to come in, see if anybody come, but I'll show you guys. It's all in a basket. Here it comes. I'm going to move the basket. This was one. I went to 2 different yard sales, and I spent $5 in each place. Oh, Sassy, you're not being rude. Yeah, you know, right. You're right, Sassy. I'm the one that's being rude. I'm down here in Florida, and I'm going to a yard sale while you guys are shoveling snow. I'm sorry, but you know, you can come down and visit me anytime. I'll take y'all. I got a spare room. I got a nice spare room, and it's the prettiest room in the whole house. Oh, you didn't say hi. Yes, I got a basket full of happy. And this was one of my this was $1. And it's a Mahjong domino set. And I've never seen it before. I've never seen Mahjong in a game before. At first, I thought it was just dominoes, but when I just now opened it up, I see it's got all the Mahjong, and I play this on my iPad. So I got this for $1, and I think I will end up playing with it. I will have to read the rules because I never had a board game of it all, but I'll figure it out. I like to play games. Now, Joe doesn't, but I do. So that's the one thing. And then I think I paid $1 for this. Well, Becky, I know you're working hard on that room, on that house. It looks like I might be trying to buffer just a tad. Yeah, I understand the spackling issues and drywall issues. Sassy, are you drinking Red Bull right now? I've never drank it. I know it's just another caffeine boost, but I don't think my body needs that much caffeine at once. I'll just take it cupfuls at a time. But anyway, I got this box of note cards, and I will probably give this to my mom. There's 2 packages of envelopes right there. That alone, the blank envelopes are worth $1 to me right there. But I also have the cards in the back. Oh, you know what I could do, guys? I've got those alcohol inks that you in the doctor inks. I got some of them doctor inks. Yeah, I think it does, Becky. It's just way too much caffeine. And I have a grandson that went about 3 or 4 years ago. He had to go to the ER because he was having heart palpitations or something was wrong, and he knew something was wrong, and he had a panic attack. And what happened is he went into one of those gas station stores, and him and his older brother bought them and drank them, without telling somebody. And I think that's what he did. I think that child drank one of them things and it scared the crap out of him. Yes, they sure can. They sure can have heart attacks. So anyway, this is cardstock. This is like 2 sheets right here. And then they fold in half to fit the envelopes. So I will definitely try to do a little something, 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 something with this. For $1. $1. Now I got them out, but now I can't get them back in the box. Something else in there. Oh, another package of envelopes. Woohoo, 2 more. Wow, this is a brand new box. Brand spanking new. Look at that. I think it might be 2 boxes stuffed into one, to be honest with you, as bad as it is. As fat as it is, that was a good buy right there. Then at the same little, then I got this here. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this. Let's see if I can get it in the picture. This is one of those desk organizer boxes with 3 rows of compartments in here. And I think she gave me this for 25 cents because looky there. Actually, the basket, everything that was in the basket and this together was all $5. And the cardstock and the dominoes was in another yard sale. So this was just real cheap, and it had cards and stationery in it too. Looky there. And my mom likes to recycle cards. If any of you girls have any old cards and you're hanging on to them, don't throw them away. I'll have to show you some of the cards that my mom has made by recycling an old card. Okay? And here is a package of grandmother cards on your birthday. Well, I don't know how many's in the package, but there's a bunch. And my grandmother's gone. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards in here. But I can donate them to the church. The church has a card club where the women sell cards. And this just happened to be in the box here. It's a mirror, but it's dirty. And I won't, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I might hang it up in the window in the spare bedroom or something like that. And there's just a little tiny package of tissue paper. Can always use tissue paper. A clipboard. Now I'm going to feel so important, girls. Listen up. This is what we're going to do now. This is what we're going to do. Hi, Sharon. Hi, country girl. We've got us a fancy, important clipboard now. So we're going to keep all our to-do list on here and all our important things. Oh, hi, Christy. Hi, sweetie. I'm sorry. Oh. I'm so lucky. I've got my mom. My mom's with me. I moved to Florida to be with my mom. She's exactly 1 mile away. And I'm going to get her to come over here and get on one of my streams one day so you can talk to her. Run laps as you tie me. Yes. Okay. Let's step up to that line now, girls. We're going to use this as I don't know, I'll figure something out. But it's got a ruler on the side of it, both sides. One's in centimeters and one's in inches. You can't probably see the ruler, but there's a ruler right there. Hey, for 25 cents, man. That was with the box. So I will use the clipboard. I don't have one. And this little thing here, I've already got a spot over here to the side I'm going to use it for. I'm going to probably clean it out a little bit. And looky here. No more stinky paint. I don't think it smells. It says clean linen smell. Let's just try one out. It had 3 of them on there, and they've used one. And the rest of them have lost their scent, I bet. This is going to be fun tonight. We're just goofing off. Hey, smells good. Can you smell it? Clean linen. Woohoo. It's like lighting a candle that's not lit. I'm going to hang it up here on the corner of my little knob and just let it dangle there for a while. All right. Now, I paid $5 for all of my yard sale finds for this one basket. And I want you to look here. This little thing here was $5. So I'm already way ahead. I'm way ahead. I'm going to wipe this off a little bit with a little bit of alcohol before I actually use it. But I'm going to put it right over here on the left side of me when I get her done. And had 2 little bags in here. Oh, wow. This was in the little gift bag. I just thought it was another bag down there inside of it. Okay, I got the gift bag. We can do an art project with this. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Dawn who? And Mitzi. I'm just showing off my little yard sale haul. I don't normally do stuff like this, but I guess it's the first time. This is my first yard sale haul online on YouTube. I'm going to have all kinds of first timers. These little things, there's 4 of them, were in the gift bag. And it's a foaming bath powder. I'm going to take a bath tonight, girl. Saturday night. Why not? Why not? Foaming bath powders. Leave Issa. Lisa is the French name. Laissa. Well, shake contents and pour under warm running water for a skin softening bubble bath scented with the romance of L'Ifeu. That's French. Well, how about if I take a quick shower before I get in the bathtub, and then I can soak and close my eyes for a few minutes and meditate and relax, and then I can get my jammies on and get in bed. The flower. Well, thank you, country girl. Means the flower. Well, anyway, I got 4 of those, and I didn't even know I got them. Those were extras. Those were extras. Okay, I've still got the basket to go through. And I got the basket with 2 handles. I'm telling you, I'm already ahead. I got a nice little rotary cutting mat. I got 2 of these. And I'm not going to make anything. I'm going to use the pattern paper. I got the fattest ones I could find. I won't have to buy any pattern paper for a while, you know. And I do use it. I do use it on my ACT cards and stuff. Foo foo la woo woo. Okay. Anyway, I got some pattern paper. And I found this Sacred Songs, Arlene and Jackie Vaden, specially selected sacred songs, Southern gospel singers. It's all eat up on the edges from bookworms paper. And it's an old-timey little music book. And it's the property of Mrs. Andrews. I was going to look to see if I can find a copyright. 1939. Yep. Copyright in 1939. And this is a nice size. It can go in Happy Mail. Huh? Yeah. I do use music paper. I've got an old hymnal it was one of the hymnals from the church I was raised in, and they bought new hymnals, and if the old hymnal had a dedication in the front of it, they were giving it to any of the family members who wanted them back. And we had a couple of family members that, you know, they dedicated to the front of the book when you purchase so many books. And so we got that. But I use it. I'm tearing it up. Oh, looky here. Tracing paper. Hi, Janet. I'm unloading my little yard sale find. But I thought, well, this will be good. And I have one of those little tiny sticks with that little rotary thing on the book. But you could also use an ink pen, or the pen that's retracted back in, just something pointy. But it's just like copy paper, but it's tracing paper. And I don't know if I ever need it or not. It's red. And look, it's been used. Look at that. And I did some tracing there not too long ago. I'll use that. And I want you to look at this. Next time someone comes over and goes swimming. Okay, okay. Oh, well, thanks, Janet. You're so thoughtful. I wasn't going to even do that. I was just doing a little impromptu. But I found this swimming ring thing for a kid. And I am going to open it up. I tell you, it was so warm today. If that solar heater was working a little bit more harder, but you know, this looks like one of those fidget things that you twist around in your fingers. Does anybody have one of those fidgets? I understand, Becky. I understand. Well, anyway, I got this swimming floaty, and I do have a pool, and I do always have a kid coming by, so it was worth. It was worth it. It was in the basket. It was probably 10 cents. Brand new, hadn't been used. It will be used here. Then I found a little bunny book, and I thought it was cute. So I will use the pictures out of the bunny book. It's got butterflies and flowers and cute little pictures in it, and I will use this. I can see me using it already. And then I had one here for whiskers, and this is a seal. And the reason why I bought it is Lisa Conley is going to send me some items, and I told her I would make her a mermaid book, and I think this will be perfect to use in her mermaid book. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. So some of the underwater scenes, and I'm pretty sure I can use part of it. Now I won't use this. This is the naked mole rat. I will not be using this page. I'm sorry. No, no. But it's about whiskers, and it's any animal that has whiskers. But the seal is the front page. And this was a discarded book that came from the library, and I bought it at a yard sale. Ha ha. But there's a kitty cat. She has whiskers, and she caught the mouse, and the mouse has whiskers. Then there was the mole, and then there was the seal. And then there was the walruses. They've got whiskers. It's a whisker book. What can I say? Walruses. There's the seal. And this is all the people in the audience, and they're going to get splashed when the big whale comes up and splashes them. Oh, look, there's porcupine and a catfish. All right, look, here's a tiger. I might use those guys. You just never know. I have some things in mind I might use it for. Okay. Then I found this guy. Now, Janet, I thought of you when I bought this, but it's not what I need. I do have blinds in my house, and I've never used one of these. Has anybody ever used one? You put all the little blinds in here, and then you go across and dust them all at the same time. Has anybody ever used one? Does it work? Walrus. Walrus. I am the walrus. It's a walrus. Seal, walrus. How do you say walrus? It's a walrus. Walrus. W-A-L, walrus. Oh, the cat. Was the cat the bandit? Uh, Mary Altier has been telling stories on Friday nights, and she's been talking about this bandit. And you have to tune in to her channel when she streams on Friday nights. I'm telling you, you have to stay for the story time. Well, I'm going to try it, and if it doesn't work, I don't think I paid any more than 10 cents for it anyway. So, honest engine. Clean my table. I still got more out of the basket to come. I still got this much more left. Haven't put a dent in it yet. Okay, I found this. And I think it's for a card table. It's a card table. It's a card table size.
According to electricbasics.com,
Well, I have to fix that.
0.187 inch wide nylon cable tied
Just a moment,
50 pounds
please.
tensile strength in natural white.
I have no idea why Siri came up on my big computer, but she started talking about nails. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I don't really have a table to use, and it does have a few stains. And I'm thinking I might have to incorporate it into a journal or something. No disrespect. No disrespect. I'm going to reuse and love it. You all can tell me what I can do with it. But it's just a card table size. Now, I do have a card table, so I could save it for the card table and for game night, when we do games. But it's, some of the stitching needs to be repaired, which was normal. But it's really in pretty good shape. I'm going to have to think about this. I might have to just save it for my card table. But I did get that, and I got this one. Now this looks like it might be handmade and homemade. And it's a little runner that you would put like on top of your dresser. And I do use things like this in my bedrooms. Hi, Barb. So this is a little dresser runner, and it's white eyelet lace. And when I bought it, I said, "Oh, I'm going to use it for a journal cover." But I might have to put it on my dresser instead. Sorry. I'm kind of sentimental when it comes to grandma things. Found another book. Not to make anybody upset, it's religious. But I do art pages, and I think there's about 7 or 8 big pages, and it's on truth and hope and love, and here's one on love. And I will do an art page just on this one page here. So this book is going to be tore up a little bit. I have intentions of tearing it up, but I'll probably read it first and go through. And but if there's any quotes, I might use the quotes on some of my art journal pages. Okay. I think I was going to use that lace and cut it up, but it's awful nice. And it doesn't have any stains on it. So Dawn, I might have to put it on my dresser. Hi, Sherry. Hello to anybody I have missed coming in. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I'm just showing you off the stuff I've got in the yard sale. And I found this. And it's very interesting. It says seam stick 1/4 basting tape for canvas 60 yards. And it's not been opened. And I'm thinking double-sided tape stuff. I know. And Dawn, I am sentimental with my grandmother's things too. This is in a bag, but I'm going to cut it open. I'm not going to leave it in the bag forever and ever and ever because I want to use it. It's a seam tape, and I think it's for like hemming if you're in a hurry and you need to hem something, or if you want to put this while you're hemming your pants so that they'll stay still while you're doing a little whip stitch on it. Hi, Suze. Okay, have a nice, what are you eating? What's for supper? You got to tell us what you're eating first. But this is double-sided, and I think I can use it for double-sided tape too. And I'm going to try it. And I do have a little bit of double-sided tape that I had to pay, good money for. Well, this is all but 5 cents. Got a real good deal on my yard sale finds, and this is going in up there with it right now, putting it away. Okay, I'm down to the little stuff now. I got all this lace. This is seam binding. I think it's called seam binding tape, and you'd put it on the inside of your whatever you were hemming. And look at this purple. It's wide. See how wide that is. It's 1.5 inches, girls. Woohoo! Wait till you see this other I got. I got some pink. 2.5 yards of 1 3/4. It's more than 1.5 wide lace. And then I got rickrack. I'll open one up and show you. I couldn't resist on the rickrack. You can't find cheap rickrack anymore. It's expensive. This is old because it was only 59 cents. And you see this paper here? Don't throw that paper away. No, ma'am. Let me show you what you can do in your art journals with this little baby. Ooh, it's got something on the back. 1971, girls. Woo! I was in high school. Yes, I was. But anyway, this is real wide rack. It's a wide rack. So I know that this is going to be fun on ATC cards and art journals and junk journals. But I've got 1, 2, 3. Now this one's blue. This of the black. I got more black. There's 4 black, 5 black. There's a little bit more of that. That's like a burgundy color. It's a real dark burgundy. It's a maroon burgundy. It's been used. And another rickrack. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I got 1 blue and one white rickrack. Giant rickrack. I like saying rickrack. Yes, I know you were sassy. I know you're younger than I am. Barbara, you were 10 in 1970? Okay. 6. You guys are youngins, I tell you. But anyway, I got me some rickrack, and let's see what this one is. Oh, another black one. I did not take all of the rickrack. There was some left. I left 1 or 2 packages left in the box just in case somebody else come by. Hi, Pat. So anyway, let me see what else. Oh, there was these 2 blanket binding things, and they're kind of a silky color, and they're in an off-white. And I thought that would be pretty on the binding of a book or something. Yeah, I don't feel my age. I don't. I am so much younger inside. It's pitiful. Pitiful. But anyway, this is all my little Ricky Rack stuff. I love it. I will use every bit of this on something. And you know those oh, did you see these 2? I didn't show you these 2. Not that it matters, but there's a pink wide band and a purple one. But these would be great for the spines of art journaling books. But I have those bookcases that have the little baskets that go in the boxes, and it's 3 by 3, 9 baskets. And those baskets are like 12 or 13 inches by 12, 13 inches. And I've got like 2 baskets full of this kind of stuff. And so I've got plenty of lace and rickrack. But you got to restock every now and then, especially when you find stuff so cheap. Have you ever wanted to do an art project with a zipper? Well, I picked up a couple zippers. Have you priced zippers? Do you know how much these little babies cost? Oh my gosh, they're expensive. And when I was in high school, I sewed my own clothes. And thank you, Janet. She's working. But anyway, I thought I have seen people use zippers in their art, and it would be like catty corners on the front of a book, and it would be fabric over here, and then it would be like corner cantywampus, and then they'd have the zipper on there, and you unzip it, and there was a pocket, and you can actually use the pocket. So we're definitely going to do something, and you can put it on the side of your journal and your fabric, and then unzip it and have a side pocket inside or on top, on the back, anywhere you want. So I've got some zippers, and where'd my other one go? Oh, here it is. I got this hymnal, and as you can see, it's had a lot of love. And I use music paper in my art stuff, so I will be ripping it up. No disrespect, but it's just a book. It's just a book, and if it brings us joy, let's see what church it came from. Daytona Christian Church. Came all the way from Daytona. I'm about 25 minutes from Daytona. No disrespect, but it'll be craft items. And then I found some of these guys. Looky here. Found these guys. This is a dog toy. What's it got inside? I haven't opened it yet. You guys are going to be the first to see it. Oh boy. If Jerry Bellini was in here, she would be envying me with all these little goodies. Look at that, guys. Look at all that junk. I might use some of that, and you know what, Mr. Joe might want that. And next time I want to hang a picture on the wall, I've got me some things to do it in. You know, when I picked it up, I knew it was heavy, and I was so busy putting it in my basket, I thought it was candy and still inside. Well, now I know none of them have candy in them. But I do have another one right here that my neighbor gave me, and it did have candy in it, and I'm going to make some of those decorative tin boxes. So I was saving them. So that's why when I saw these at the yard sale, I grabbed them. And you see this piece of paper right here? This came out of the Altoids, and it had the candy, but the candy was inside. And you think I'm going to throw this little tissue paper away? I'll use that baby. I'll use it in the same way I'll use this little tag. I'll put it on an ATC and make a tag out of it or something. So those are good little papers. Now, this one does smell. It smells like peppermint. And I'm not real big about keeping food, but I don't think peppermint attracts ants. I don't think peppermint attracts them. But that's why I bought the cans, because I'm going to make something. And then here's a secrets. Wow, look in here. I got another light bulb. Joe will like this. He'll like that little light bulb. A curtain hook. You never know. You just never know when you're going to need a curtain hook. But but anyway, I got the tin cans. That's the main thing. And here's another Altoid. This one looks very interesting because it's tangerine sours. I love sour candy. And there's some more Bibbidi Bobs. I tell you, that's okay. I just wanted the cans so I could make me some little decorations out of them. And then the last thing I've got in my basket is some ribbon. And they had more, but I just got this. This is green. And I will use this on my Christmas baskets, Christmas bags, gift bags, and sometimes I'll use this a lot at Christmas time. And then there's the gold. My mama want that. She likes to do handwork. But I got some gold. That's pretty. This came from Walk-A-Mall. And it was 15 cents at the day. And then this is pink. These two are pink, real pale pink. And then this one's an ivory color. And I do use my ribbons. So they will go in with the other bric rack. They will. And then the last thing, I got the basket. And it's got two handles. It's got two handles on it. Nice little carrying basket. So she originally had $6 on it, but I got the whole basket with everything in it for $5. So I come out ahead. Now, when I first got here, I showed a couple of the girls that I did this painting just right before I got on. I just did this little watercolor mixed media page. Yes, I did. I found some great items, and I've got so much stuff in here. I don't need a thing. But and looky here. Oh my gosh, these were in that little thing too. And look, it's a whale. I could use these in Lisa's Mermaid book. It's a blue whale, and they're cards. I bet these were local, 1991. New Smyrna Beach. Somebody drew these. Um, somebody drew these that lives down here. These are local artists. A local artist did this. I've seen something similar to these uh, on cards. Yep. So, but Lisa's going to be sending me some items. Um, Lisa Conley at Lisa My Eclectic Life. She is doing a mermaid book for one of her friends, and then she has enough to do herself a mermaid book. And she says, I don't think I want to do another mermaid book right now. And I said, I'll do it. I'll do it. So she's going to send me some of her little bibbity bobs, and 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 I'm going to make her a mermaid book. So that's what I'm going to do with the whisker book and with these cards. I'll put that in. I'm gathering things for her mermaid book, and then I'll have to see what she sends me. She's going to send me some stuff too. Yes, I did this with my marble paper. Isn't that awesome? I did this out of a water and coloring book. I did it with Debbie Epps, EPPS, Debbie Epps, and she's an art teacher, and she streams part time sometimes on the weekends and her days off. And she enabled me to buy this book, and it's fast and fun watercolors, no drawing required, painting techniques, and it's by Gina Lee Kim. If anybody is interested, I'm not a real big painter, but I do like to do a little bit of watercolor, and I like mixed media. But here is the picture that I did today. Here's the picture that we took it from, and then here's my version of it. I just did 3 boats instead of 5, and I haven't got my birds in yet. And I love it. Love it. So, and she, the lady in the book used scrapbook paper, printed paper, and I think some of her water is scrapbooking, and the back must have a little bit of watercolor because it is a watercolor book, so it has to have some watercolor in it. And I think that's what she did. But I painted the background first, and I love doing background papers. Well, this didn't really cost me anything. I use I use kid paints from the dollar store, watercolors, and I've got 4 grandkids, and every now and then, those artist kits that you get at Walmart that have crayons, pencils, paints, and different types of art materials in them. They're real cheap, and they're usually like $10 for the whole kit, and it's in a case. And well, when well, that's how I got my watercolors. Those little round discs that came out of that kit, the paint are in little pads, and I dropped, and you can see the orange one. You can still see the orange round pad. That was came out of a kid's watercolor set. And this case I got at the secondhand store for a quarter. It's plastic, and it's got a nice lid on it. It will drip, so I keep it straight. But if you ever go to the Dollar Tree and you buy these kind of paints, this is what this is. This is nothing fancy. I just took those little tablets and dropped them in each one of these holes and added a little bit of water to them. And so it's not completely air dry. And I'll leave this cracked open until all the water evaporates. And then I'll put the lid on. But I keep it laying flat like this up in the cabinet on top of the box so that it never gets tumbled or anything on its side. Okay, so I don't have any expensive I mean, I have a lot, and I've collected a lot. And I did splurge and buy this book, and I think it was $10. But I've already drawn 2 pictures out of it, and I think I'm going to be doing some more. It's my right up my alley. So you can use children's paints, and they're just as good. I mean, if you when you continue to paint and paint and paint and paint, you might grow out of the children's paints, and you might want better quality paints, and try some of those expensive ones. But I probably will never ever buy the expensive ones, but I might find them at the secondhand store. And if I do, maybe I'll buy them then when I find them. But these are just kid paints here. And then on my son, I used a Crayola slick stick that I got at Walmart. I got these Crayola twistable slick sticks, and I used yellow, orange, and red right here. And I wetted a paper towel like here, and moistened it, and went around in a circle to give it streaks, to make the streaks. So that's how I did that. So I'm just an all mixed media girl. And this white, the waves, that was this cheap white paint right here. That cheap white paint right there. So, so that's very inexpensive. And the paints that I buy, I get them from Walmart. I get the Walmart brand, whatever it is. I don't know if they're Apple Bear or what. Uh, I get 50 cents a bottle at Walmart on my paints, and I don't buy them all at once. I just buy when I go into Walmart. I might buy 4 new bottles of paint, and then before you know it, you'll have a whole collection of colors. And I had I had an aunt that gave me a whole box of paints that she didn't use anymore, so I got her paints, and they were free. So you just come across things. But I don't like to buy my paint like that at the secondhand store because they're just half full. But if it's a new bottle, I'll buy it, if it's cheap enough. But sometimes they charge more than Walmart. But anyway, I just did this today, and this is something that we can do together if you ever want to do something like this. And I'm going to tell every one of y'all hello to everybody who's come in. There's some more people who've come in, and I haven't seen your names yet. But if you're watching, I am going to do a 100 subscriber giveaway on Friday. And there's a video that I made yesterday. It says don't lose your marbles, 100 subscribers giveaway. So you go to that video, and add a comment in the comment side, subscribe, and ring the bell, and hit me a like, and then write a little comment, and all of the names who are on that video will be entered into the contest. Oh, Barb, I bet that's nice. Now, I have a set of paints that I got from Michael's, and it was $5. This here came from Michael's, and it was $5. And girls, do y'all have heat guns? You have these little heat guns? You have these heat guns? Okay. Well, let me tell you what happens when you have too much stuff on your desk. This is what happens. This is what happens when your heat gun gets too close to the paints. You see that? It's a little warped. It's a little melty. It got melted. Now, it's okay. It don't hurt a thing. It didn't hurt a thing. But my lid, I just want you all to be careful with your heat guns, okay? There's my tip of the day. This little set is nice, and so um, yeah, I have this one, and this was $5 with a coupon, I think, from Michaels. And then I have the metallic one, and this one's got they're not real dark, they're translucent, and they have a shimmer to them, and they're nice and fun. I might put some of this orange on top of this to give it a shimmery look. That'd be a good idea. I can do it right now. You all can help me. So be careful with those heat guns. I'm telling you. I'm going to put some of this orange shimmer on my sun. So I just need a clean brush with a little bit of water. And then I will take this and sit it on the other table until it dries. And I store them up in my cabinet on their side, laying on their sides this way on this set and this set. So after it dries, I store. I've got a little bookcase of things. Here we go. You can see me at work. Well, I tell you, that air freshener smells good. I thought for a minute it was going to make me sneeze, but it hadn't. For those of you who came in late, I had a little yard sale haul, and I got a new air freshener, and I hung it up over here. It's strong. I'm going to put it back in the case, in the bag, so it's not so strong. I do that when they first come out and leave them in the bag. That way it doesn't choke you, you know. I'm going to still hang it up. I've got some of my paints stink. Some of my paints have a smell to them, and when they do, I put an S on the top of the bottle, like this one. There's a W, and for those of you that don't know, whenever I get down to the thick part of the paint, I put a little water in it, and I put a W on here, so I don't flip it open and dump all the water out real fast. I can be careful. And if I have an S on it, it means my paint stinks. And some of these paints have dates on them, believe it or not. This particular one, I got it in a box of, I don't know, 10 or 12. There was a whole bunch of them in one box for sale, and Joe bought them for me. He thought he was buying me something great, and I said, no, you can't buy some of those paints at the hardware store because they box them up because they're pushing them. You know, well, it's because the dates are so old on them. There's nothing wrong with the paint, but it's 19, I think it says 98. 1988, and it's soured. It's old paint, and again, there's nothing wrong with it, but it stinks. So I always try to look at the dates when something's on sale. There's a reason for it to be on sale. They're pushing it for some reason, okay? Just saying. I'm just saying. Got to watch out for these things. If I don't share it, you won't know. I'm going to add a little yellow now and see what it does. And I'm going in circles. Giving it a swirly sunset. Now, I don't have sunsets over here on the water. I got sunrises. So maybe they're out in the early morning. Hey, we set our clocks spring forward tonight. Did you all remember? Okay, there's some of my paints. So just to show you, this is what I paint with. I'm going to let this dry before I turn it on its side because there's a little bit of water right there. It won't take long. And I definitely have to let this dry overnight because this has got a lot of water in it. Well, this one doesn't turn on its side, but I leave the lid kind of cracked like that. I can stick my finger in there. The lid's cracked, and then it sits on top on a box in here. That's how I keep that little baby. Look at that! Wow! Doesn't that just make it nicer? Well, anyway, that's what I did. I did that. I'll let it over here to dry. So, I'll talk about this next. Anybody got any questions? And those were just kid paints. Just kitty paints. Kitties. We get to spring forward. Spring forward. We'll get an extra hour of sleep. Woohoo! I'll take an extra hour of sleep. I know. I love it. Now that we're turning back towards the summer, our days are going to start getting longer now. Well, guess what these are? Can you guess? I'm going to hold them up real close. Look at them little babies. These were the pull strings for the fan on my mom's old fan that she had on the back porch. And I made them. I made them for her. And these are beads. But these are pottery beads. They made them out of, I made them out of pottery. They're made out of clay. Yes, Barb, I did. I used mixed media paper. It's that XL tablet that Walmart sells. And I used the mixed media. It's the mixed media paper. And I don't know if I got I'd show you the front of it, but I painted it. Yep, these are beads, and I strung them. I had to string them twice for her because the first time I strung them on wire, and they were out on the back porch, and the wire rusted. They got moisture, so then I had to restring them, and I used a fishing line. And I'm gonna take them off. And she got new fans, so Joe put the new fans up, and they came with some pulls, and so she gave me back my beads. Let's see. I've got a box of them. Let me find them for you. I'll be right back. I think I found them. I found them. Here's my box. I'm going to put them in. This is the box I took them out of. So I guess I'll put them back. I should make her another some pulls, but she won't care. She enjoyed them. But here's what I'll do. They'll go flying. But I have a pottery wheel, and I like to make things by hand too. And I made these beads by hand. So just to give you an idea, there's some other things that I made. I got some fobs and some other decorations here too. I'll show it all to you. But these are all made out of pottery, out of clay, and I made them by hand. And do you all know much about pottery? Do you all know that you have to bake it first, and then you paint it, and then you have to bake it again in a real hot oven, a kiln? I know you've seen things. You've seen the wheel where they make the pot and everything. Well, I've got that, and I like to do hand building things, and this is all done by hand. You make your beads, and you get your clay good and soft, and I've got a rolling pin that I use. Your sister is a potter? Okay, then you know what I'm talking about. And then you make your little items, and this is like several batches of items. When you make them, I just make a few at a time. I roll these out by hand in clay, and then I take a skewer or some kind of a needle to make the hole, and then you have to let it dry. Yes, I have a kiln. So one of my long-term goals is, as I clear my throat, my pottery is set out in the garage out here, and but right now there's just so much stuff in the garage that I can't stand to go out there. It just drives me nuts because it's so packed full. And I've got some old furniture that needs to go. Everything needs to be let go, let go, let go. And my husband is a collector. Am I making any sense? And he didn't want to give anything away. He didn't want to get rid of it. So, but my long-term goal is to get out there and get the camera out there with you girls and let y'all watch me do pottery, and let you know, and play with it, and show you what I can do. And you would love it. You would absolutely love it. And whenever you open up a kiln, and you've got everything painted, and you've baked it for the second time, and you open it up and you see all these little trinkets inside that oven, it's like Christmas every single time. Uh, yes, Sassy, I think I know what that H word is. That's a bad word in our house. We don't say that bad. He has these things because he can afford to keep them, he says. Uh-huh. He does. So anyway, the garage is full, and as soon as we get it cleaned out and get some of the furniture out there, I got a new bedroom suit, and my old bedroom suit I'd had since 1970. Good Lord, since I was a teenager, and I'm ready to let go of that old furniture. It's pretty furniture. It's nice. It's heavy, but I don't need it anymore. I got new. So as soon as I get her to get Joe to help me clean the garage out and get it cleaned out a little bit to where I can get in there, and we'll get to my pottery table. And I've got a big kitchen table in there that you could sit 8 people around easily and all work on some kind of pottery by hand. I would love to have company come over and play with me. Yeah. You can make so many things out of pottery. Oh, let me show you this one. I got it hanging up here. I might have a crapalanche getting it to it. Oh, I didn't drop anything. Look at this. You guys will want one of these. I didn't find it on the beach. I did not find it on the beach. This is pottery. And I think this is the last one I got left. I gave them away. It's cute, isn't it? And it's a piece of clay. Clay clay comes in different colors. You can find light buff clay, and you can find dark red clay or terracotta clay. So Dawn, you're gonna like this if you come down to see me. We could play with my pottery wheel. Woohoo! Dawn lives about a half hour away. But anyway, I have a lace tablecloth that's plastic, and my mom had a table, and the tablecloth was way too long, so she cut about 12 inches of it off all the way around the table because it was a round tablecloth, and it had this lacy stuff on it. So I roll my clay out like you would pie dough with the rolling pin, and then I lay my tablecloth on it, and I take the rolling pin and roll it again to get the print, and I pull it off, and then I have a round cookie cutter, like a biscuit cookie cutter, and I punch the circles out, and these imprints are on it. And then I take a toothpick. It's kind of a process, but I take a toothpick and I mark the 5 stars with a flat toothpick. It's the I use a toothpick that has the flat end on one end of it and a pointy end on the other. So anyway, I make these, and then I take the rolling pin, I lay it back down, and I roll out just the edges, just from from here out. I roll down about 4 times to make the ends kind of pointier and not square like it is on the when you cut it out with the cookie cutter. It's not square on the edges, so they're tapered just like a sand dollar. Hi, Holly. Hi, guys. I've got 19 of y'all. Welcome to everybody. I haven't seen your name or something, and I'm saying hello to all the lurkers too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So anyway, sand dollars, and this is pottery, and I don't have very many of these left, so I've got another batch in there that I've been working on, trying to make some more. So that's just one of the things I make, and then I have another drawer in my closet. I've got a little drawer in there that I have ornaments that I've made out of cookie cutters in pottery. But this is the beads. These are all my beads, and this is a baby cookie cutter. And Janet, you were talking about those craft mats that have the designs on them to use for a roller on the toilet paper roll. I probably have some things that I can use for my pottery that I can use. This here is a mat that I bought to make a swirly sign in the clay, and it's my favorite one. I use it a lot. So I roll the clay out with the rolling pin, and I put the designer mat on it and rolling pin again it to get the design in the clay. And then I take the mat off, and then I take the cookie cutters and cut out all the little shapes, just like you would making cookies. Yes. I've got a couple of rubber textured sheets that I use in my clay, and I won't cut them up, but I might be able to use them with painting papers or on the jelly plate that we were talking about. I'm collecting ideas for that, Janet, and I'll do that. But it might be a couple weeks. But I'll we're going to do something with the toilet paper rolls and inexpensive ways to do stuff. We're working on that idea. So anyway, I make these and then I cut them out with the little tiny cookie cutters. And these cookie cutters, I found them in the polymer clay department. So I also play with polymer clay. And if you would make something like this, so you could wear it as a piece of jewelry, a necklace or something, or use it as a chain pull for your lights. You could make charms and make a key ring. But you have to remember that these are ceramic and they will break. They can break. And if they do, don't worry about it. And this is a little key fob. Oh, I've done bells. I've done little bells. And I get a bead like this or something like this and hang it in the middle of the bell to ring, to make the ringing noise. Baby sand dollars. Okay, Barb. The next time I get out there to make sand dollars, I'll make some baby sand dollars. Yeah. But I got creative in some of my other beads and I started making square ones. This is a square bead and it's got a hole all the way through to the bottom, believe it or not. And I made some barrel beads. And these make good key fobs, but they make funky jewelry too. And then I have some real tiny little polymer clay cookie cutters that make stars and hearts. And these make cute little charms on jewelry too. Janet's serving meatballs. How many meatballs you got, girl? You got enough room for all of us? I bet we could cut them in half if we have to. But these are some of my pottery beads. And then here's some smaller beads. These are like little seed beads and like these beads here are too small to use in the marble paint. Even though they're pottery and glass, they're ceramic. I think they would get stuck in the if the paint is thick, I think they might get stuck in the paint and not roll like we would want them to. We could try it, but I got the marbles, so I don't need to get ruin these. I'll save these. But I could make big marbles, you know, and this is definitely heavy enough like a marble. But it's a bead, a green one. So when I make beads, I I get in a assembly line order and I'll sit and roll these little round ones. I'll just roll them just like you would clay, like you would play with Play-Doh, but I would use my clay for the pottery, and I would sit and roll beads, and they can't be too dry. If they dry out, the clay has to be just right and soft and moist. And then I would make about 20 of them, and then I'd get me a pokey tool, a needle nose tool, and poke a hole in them, or a toothpick, or a straw. Yeah, I think marbles would be cheaper because pottery can be expensive, even though you do it by hand. It's very time consuming. because you have to make it, you have to let it dry, and then sometimes you have to sand and take off any imperfections after it dries, and then you have to paint it. You have to bake it first. You have to bake it. Then you have to get it out of the oven, and then you have to, hi Becky, then you have to paint it. And each time you paint a color on it, you have to let it dry. And then I went back, I painted this in pink, and then I went back and put red dots on it. And these are, and then you have to put them back in the kiln again to bake again. And then you have to take them back out of the kiln. You have to put them in and take them out, put them in, take them out. That's that's 4 times you've held it right there. So you've had to make it, that's 1 time. Then you had to paint it, that's another time. And then you got 4 more times that you put it in and out of the oven, out of the kiln. So it's very time consuming. Well, Malaya, hi Malaya, I had my kiln given to me. I was very, very fortunate. The the lady that had my kiln, it was her mother's, and nobody in her family wanted the kiln. And I had already had a pottery wheel. I just didn't have the oven. And she knew I had the wheel, and she was in my prayer group, and so I knew her, and she said, "Would you like to have an oven?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, I would love it." And she says, "Well, my mom passed away, and I've got this oven, and nobody in the family wants it, and they keep passing it around from one basement to another." And she says, "We're tired of lugging it around, so if you want it, come and get it." And I said, "Yes, ma'am, right away." So these are my pottery beads, and I've got a little cookie cutter that I got in the polymer clay. I've got feet and hands, and I put 2 of these on a key charm and give them away a lot. And you're the hands and feet is what I, gesture. Well, I tell you, I don't really either, Malaya, because when we moved down here from Kentucky, we downsized, and I had a back room off of the back of the basement that was it wasn't heated, but it was enclosed, and it was like a garden room. It had all the windows in it and stuff. And I made it my pottery area, and I loved it. I had a picnic table in there I could work on, and had my oven. I had a countertop, and I had all my clay, and I had it organized on how I made everything, and it was a process, because some of the pots, when you make pots, it takes up to 2 weeks for them to dry completely bone dry, and the longer you let them dry, the better, and the less risk you have of it breaking up in the oven. And you worked hard on that pot, you don't want it to break, so it's better to let it dry an extra few days than to risk it. So I would have an organization in this shelving that I had greenware, bisqueware, and then it was finished after that. But I had it organized, and stuff that you painted that was ready to go in the oven again. And each time you baked something, it was a little bit different recipe than you would for a bisque versus something that's painted and finished. But anyway, I had these. I was going to take and put these beads in here. I got waylaid. These were pull strings for those who just came in. My mom got new fans for the back porch, and these and the old fans, I made her pull tab strings so she could reach them to pull the lights and the fans on. And she got new fans. Joe put new fans in, so I got custody of my old beads back. And that's how I got the bead box out. So I'm taking them apart, and I strung them on this fishing line, this real thick fishing line. So that's that story. So anyway, maybe this summer we'll get that garage cleaned out. I have quietly begged softly. I'm begging softly to get my garage cleaned out. And we still have boxes out there from when we moved, and I haven't even opened them up yet, because I don't have any more room in the house. Now these here are not pottery beads, these are glass beads, and they got in here for some reason. I was making something. And I am a little bit of a beadaholic, girls. I've got a few beads. But Tanya informs me that I don't have as much as she does. Here's a little sample. I did not make this. One of my little nieces made this for me. She got in my bead box, and they're allowed. But this is a long bead. This is a pottery bead, and then these came out of some of my pretty beads. And she made me this on a fishing line, and it kind of stretches, and I've got it hanging up over here as a little decoration hanging up. So I'll hang it back up along with my new air freshener. And this does help when you put the package back on it. It calmed it down a little bit. It was a little too strong. But it's good. It's all good. And this is something else I made. This will be another day. This is felting. If you've ever heard of felting. I like to do lots of things. If you want, I'll show you some pottery that I have around the house. And I got to go get it. You want me to go get you a couple of pieces that I've made? I've got 19 in here. I'm going to go get them. You all might want to see some of my pottery. I'll be right back. Hang on. Don't go nowhere. I'm coming. Here I am. That didn't take too long. Just ran there and got the whole bowl. Got a whole bowl of it. And just to let you know, I'm a self-taught potter. I took an adult pottery class a couple times. And the rest of the time, I just watched videos off of YouTube. Just watched YouTube. This is a little vase that I made. And it's real thick. It's probably a quarter of an inch thick. It's real bottom heavy, and I'm glad because that way I'm not going to tip it over. You're not going to tip this sucker over. And I keep this in my bathroom, and I put my toothbrush in it. Oh, I do too. I love to sort beads. I could sit for hours and sort my beads, play with my beads. So this is a little vase that I made on the wheel, and I learned how to do this little ruffle thing. Okay, Don. I'm not gonna stay on very much longer. I was just goofing off. Okay. Okie dokie. But that I made that, and I made this. This is a bell, and this is the same tablecloth, that plastic tablecloth that I used on the sand dollar. Yep, it's done. It's homemade pottery and enameling, and this makes it ceramic. When you bake it and you put the glaze on it, it turns from pottery to ceramic. And that's the difference between pottery and a ceramic piece, is the glaze enameling, and that's glass over pottery. And this is just a piece of clay that's like a triangle, okay? And you make a cone, and you put the seam. This is where the seam was. You put it together, and there's a technique to how to put it together, and then you bake it to make a ceramic, and or to bisque, and then you paint it with the glaze, liquid glass is glaze. Then you bake it the second time, and it becomes a ceramic piece. And this is where I signed it, and I've got a little tiny bee right there. That's a little stamp, and it's a bee. That's me. And you can see the little fob in there that was in the bead box. I had one like that in the bead box. And I've just got it hung with, knotted with a string and a knot. Uh, that's another story, how to get that in there. But we get it. And it rings, and we'll ring it. And if you want a bigger noise, then you would use maybe one of the bigger balls beads, the bigger beads. And it would probably make a bigger ring. Like this guy here. He would make a nice ring. But anyway, that's what I did. And I just made this little tassel. It was just a little goofy thing. It's goofy. But then I did this one. This is one of my very first pieces. This has got my name, and it's got a heart, and it has a number 1. Let's see if I can get it to show up. Number 1. Number 1. This was my first piece. And as you can see, I got a little hole there where I didn't get enough glaze right there. Yes, I have a kiln. So, but anyway, when I threw this on the wheel, I was just so happy to get a shape that looked so good. It turned out to be really thick. Man, this thing is a good, oh, that's a good ½ inch down there. I'm sorry, girls. This is not too bad. This is not too thick. But the sides are really thick. I should have gone up with this clay. But I was just learning, and I glazed it, and I learned how to do these little butterflies technique, painting, and I need to do more of that. I love doing this when I made the butterflies. So I made some other little pretty bowls, and I ended up giving them all away to my family. So I don't keep a lot to myself. I'm a giver. I'd rather give away than keep. But this is a bowl that I have on my entry table when I come in the door. So every time I go to the beach, I bring home a shell and throw a shell in here. So you'll see some shells and probably a little bit of sand. So this is my little treasure bowl. But I also have some little things that I've made. And a lot of times when people come over, I'll say, well, have a nice day, and I'll give them something. And this was just a regular star Christmas cookie cutter. And again, it's that same print that's on the sand dollar. And then I twisted the corners of the points to make it look like a starfish. And it kind of gives it a character. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, I gave away an awful lot of my pottery stuff, but I've got a few things. And this was a cookie cutter, and then a smaller cookie cutter. Yep. And then these two big holes I made with a straw. And I did have, oh, here it is, a foot, a beach foot. These are popular. Zoe's in the house. Hi, Zoe. So these are some of the cookie cutters that I've made. Here's another foot. And this is another one of those felting decorations I made. And you don't have to do the same thing every time. You don't have to use the same print or the same colors. This is like a little apple. There's an Easter bunny. I went through all of the holidays one year. And I would give, every time we have a Sunday dinner, if it was Easter, everybody got a bunny. And if it was Christmas or fall, they got a pumpkin. There's a cat. There's another foot. Christmas tree, of course. And crosses. And then I did the little girls and the little boys. And this was a cookie cutter. This was a cookie cutter. And this is a stamp, a rubber stamp. And I stamped it on her dress and it came out. And I drew her clothes and her hair and face with a toothpick. No, I don't, Barbara. I don't sell my pottery. I don't sell anything. Um, this is just my hobby. It's what I like to do. And this was real cute. At Christmas time, I would do a girl and a boy, and they're cookie cutters again. And I would decorate them for Christmas clothes, make them cute. They were cute. And that's about all of them. Here's a little gingerbread man. And I like these just in the terracotta stage clay, and then just do the markings without any of the paint. I like them plain. But another $1. And then I had these real tiny crosses I made with the polymer clay clay cutters. And then I would glue a pin on the back and you could wear it. I did a lot of these. This is just craft foam, kid foam. And again, this is that I use this. I did try to sell my pottery at one time, but I never sold any. None of them. One of my girlfriends had a craft. She would go to the craft fairs, and I'd give her a basket of my potteries, and of these guys, and I say, if you can sell them, sell them. And she would sell a few, and I made up these cards. So if anybody wanted to make them, wanted me to make 50 of these, I would, I would do bulk orders, but I never did. I never did. But anyway, that's all the pottery. The rest is all seashells. And every time I go to the beach, I try to bring a seashell home. Thanks, Janet. Thanks, you guys. I know you all like them. So, and then here is some of my beads that I've made into charms and fobs. These are just, I don't think oh, this one's a story. This one tells as like a bookmark. But there's a couple of bracelets. I do bracelets. I do a lot of bracelets, and I call them blessing bracelets. And that's about the only jewelry I make besides the little pottery pins, little bracelets. But I also like boho, gypsy stuff. And this is a cloth bead that I made, and I can show you how I made them. And you use straws. Use a straw, and you wrap your fabric around it, and then you wrap some string around it. And this is like something you would hang on your key ring. And it's a hobo style. And here's another one just like similar to it. It's got a piece of green fabric over the straw, and you glue it, and then some embroidery thread wrapped around it, and it's just real gypsy, hobo-y looking. I have one of those Christmas trees, Janet, and I think I bought mine in a yard sale. I didn't make it. And it's got the little lights, and you can buy the little plastic things. If you lose them over the years, you can buy little new ones to put in the holes. It has a light bulb in the bottom, and it's got all these little colorful top lights that go in the tree. And then when you light the tree up, those things glow, colored lights. And that's all of this, but that's all in this dish. Just a few seashells, little baby shells. I found it on the beach. Every time I go to the beach, I try to bring home a little seashell, and I throw it in this bowl. And I sit this bowl by the door, and when somebody new comes along, oh, looky here. Here's another cookie cutter. I like him. He's a seahorse. But anyway, that's all I'm going to do tonight. I've been on for a while, so I'm going to get off here and do something. Yeah, this little plate, it came from just a little discount store, and my niece gave it to me for Christmas one year. So this is my inspiration. I've been slowly adding turquoise to my home decor since we moved down here from Kentucky. Everything I had at home was Victorian country, and it was burgundy and hunter green things. And when I come down here, I said, I want blue. I want beachy. So I put all my turquoise in this bowl and I set it on the table. And this is a heart. This is a cookie cutter. And when the clay was still moist, I curved it and I made it into little soap dish. And I had these little round soaps, and I gave them away for Christmas one year. Yes, there's a lot that I do, and And we're going to, next time Joe comes in here, we're going to ask him to help me clean the garage out, right? You're all going to help me? You're all going to back me up and say, we want to see Beth do pottery. We want you to clean the garage up. And you know, down here in Florida, a lot of people have the garage. They take the car out of the garage and they pull a screen door over the garage area and they sit out there in lawn chairs and comfy chairs. And I said, well, I think we could do that too if we would clean some of this stuff out. And uh, and I've got a treadmill. And I said, if we did, I could really use my treadmill a lot easier if all this clutter was out of here. But I can't go out there and work and do my treadmill with all that clutter. It would absolutely give me a breakdown. Thanks, Janet. And I'm not staying on. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to you guys. So if you all have anything else going on, I hope you have a nice night. And don't forget to spring forward on your clocks. If you don't, you'll be early tomorrow. You'll be an hour early for everything. Hi, Allie. Allie, I was just showing off some of my pottery things. And you'll have to watch the video if you want to see my yard sale haul. You're welcome, Becky. It was fun. And for those of you who don't know, there's another video that says don't lose your marbles. 100 subscribes giveaway. Good night, Pat. And if you go into that video and write a comment, subscribe and like, write a comment, you'll be entered into the contest. And I'm giving away some prizes. And they're not real expensive prizes. They're just fun prizes. Good night, steak and fries. But if you want to be entered into the contest, and next Friday night, I'm going to do the contest winners. It'll be at 6:30 next Friday. You're welcome. Here's a link if you need the link. But if you watch that video, I'm making marble paper with marbles, painty papers, and this is what they look like. And the black and gold one is going to go to Mary. Okay, I will, Janet. I'll tell Joe. He's out in the workshop outside. Yep, the light's still on. He's still out there. So the marble painting was good. And also on Friday, I'm going to show y'all how to make a little book, a little journal book. We're going to make something like this. And I'm going to show you how to put a string in there and tie it. And I'm going to use I'm going to use our marble paper. Good night. Goodbye. So, if y'all have any other questions, spit them out. I think everybody's going off now. Enjoy your evening. If you do anything, have fun and be safe. And I'll probably be back on sometime. I just don't have a schedule. Good night, Becky. I'll go put my dishes away. Guess who's calling? He's outside. Hello? No. Bye, you guys. Yeah. Well, he knows that you've called.